Most of us raised in the West grow up with a single, unbending assumption. Jesus of Nazareth is the exclusive founder and deity of Christianity. But step outside that framework, and the picture shifts. For nearly 2 billion Muslims, he is revered as a major prophet and the true Messiah. He is a central figure in the Baha'i and Druze faiths. Meanwhile, secular historians constantly analyze the evidence to determine the exact details of his actual physical life. It leaves us with a paradox. Billions of people center their entire worldviews on this one first-century figure, yet they disagree on his nature, his actions, and even the manner of his death. To understand global culture, we have to look at how this single life has been refracted into these specific, mutually exclusive interpretations. If we strip away thousands of years of tradition, what remains? The academic quest for the historical Jesus attempts to separate ancient evidence from religious doctrine to find what actually happened. Modern scholars place his life in Galilee and Judea. Historical records describe a Jewish builder leading an itinerant ministry, preaching throughout the Galilean countryside. The turning point occurred when he traveled south to Jerusalem, bringing him into direct conflict with Roman authorities. That clash resulted in his execution. Around the year 30 AD, he was crucified on the direct order of the Roman prefect, Pontius Pilate. Secular history confirms a man who preached and died a violent death. But a localized execution doesn't explain how a Galilean builder became a global deity. For that, we have to look through the lens of theology. Decades after his death, early followers codified their accounts into the 4 canonical Gospels, which became the framework for the Christian perspective. To Christians, he is the Word made flesh. He is born of a virgin in Bethlehem and is the performer of divine miracles. Through this lens, the Roman execution was not a political failure, but a deliberate sacrifice to reconcile humanity with God. The foundation of the Christian faith is the belief that Jesus resurrected from the dead on the 3rd day and ascended to heaven. This conviction regarding his divinity allowed the movement to bridge the gap between its Jewish origins and the wider Gentile world. By the end of the 1st century, followers had established a distinct religious identity that was spreading across the Mediterranean. The Christian lens took a Roman execution and framed it as a cosmic victory over death, creating the architecture for the world's largest religion. In Islam, the perspective changes again. Jesus, known as Isa, is considered the Messiah, and he is mentioned in the Quran more frequently than Muhammad. There is significant overlap with Christianity. Muslims also believe he was born of the Virgin Mary and that he performed miracles. But the divergence is sharp. Islam strictly enforces monotheism, dictating that Jesus is a mortal prophet sent to Israel. He is a messenger of God, but not the Son of God. This timeline comparison illustrates the most critical difference. The Quran explicitly states that he was not crucified or killed. Instead, God raised him alive, directly into heaven. Meanwhile, mainstream Judaism views Jesus as a historical teacher who did not fulfill the biblical requirements of the Jewish Messiah. These diverging paths are not minor theological details. They represent 2 distinct, conflicting accounts of how God communicates with humanity. When you look at the raw details, his legacy is deeply improbable. We are discussing a physical life spanning roughly 33 years, confined to a small patch of land in the Middle East. Humanity remains obsessed with finding physical proof of that life, using items like the Shroud of Turin to connect the historical man with the divine idea. Yet the physical evidence is completely eclipsed by the influence of the idea. It is the concept of Jesus that ultimately reached every corner of the globe. The history of the Western world and the Islamic Golden Age were both built on the specific ways these different cultures interpreted his teachings. Regardless of personal belief, recognizing these diverging interpretations is a prerequisite for understanding why this single life remains a source of both shared global values and deep-seated cultural divisions.